Okay. Testing. Okay. All right. Mic levels are up and that looks good. Let me double check the audio here. Yep. That's good to go. Tweet it out. Oh man. Oh no. It's saying no data? Come on, YouTube. I know it's been a minute, but come on. Work with me here, YouTube. What are my settings here? That should be good. Okay. YouTube is just being YouTube. Okay. Oh man. All right. Just wait for a few more people to come through and then I'll get started. But it's good to be back. First things first, shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. What's up, Ice Queen? Hope you're having a good hump day. Wednesday is hump day. I want to shout out to Super G. Super G gifted me Space Marines 2. So it was on my wish list and just decided to be the awesome person that he is and gifted me the game. So I appreciate him for that. Pretty dope so far. Definitely get the vibes that people have noticed from Gears of War. Yeah, I definitely feeling it. I know nothing about the Warhammer universe, so I don't know how accurate the game is to the Warhammer stuff, but it's pretty interesting so far. I'm enjoying it. Haven't touched the multiplayer yet. That will be definitely something that I engage in eventually. You guys know how I am. I love me some multiplayer, so I'll do that eventually. But thank you, Super G, for the game. I appreciate that. Ice Cream says I'm okay after yesterday. My wedding anniversary. We've been married for 13 years. Oh well, I think I recall you saying that your husband passed away, Ice Queen. My condolences. And but when you look at like certain dates that remind you of people that you love that passed on, I always try to focus my mind on like the better memories. You see, he passed in 2018. But again, my condolences, Ice Queen. But yeah, I try to focus on like the good memories, the good times that you had with them, and that kind of helps get through those hard dates. But I hope at least the stream could maybe cheer you up a little bit, hopefully. It's been actually more than a month since I've done a long time with SloMo, and that's just been busy with work. Work has been extremely busy for me recently, but then I would have definitely gone live over the past week with the stuff with like PS5 Pro officially being revealed. So much the narratives going around, and various camps having their factions and showing their lack of knowledge and their inability to not be objective in so many different ways. I've had a lot to say and not been able to have the voice to say it because of my surgery. And I don't want to get into all the details. I appreciate a lot of the people who have, reached out and asked if I was okay, or just said something on their shows, or whenever they had the opportunity. The Iron Lords, Gaming Circle, Rap, everyone has been really supportive. Forte, of course. It's just I had a surgery done, nothing too serious, but the recovery for it didn't allow me to speak and speak without maybe spitting up blood kind of thing, and having to be really careful with how I speak. And I've spoken to a few people since before now about the surgery, and I was barely speaking, mumbling a lot because it was all I was capable of doing. But here I am, like a week after the surgery, and I'm getting back to the point where I can talk. I wanted to do, and if you've been on Twitter, you would know that we planned on doing the show Thursday. That was the day after my surgery. That was really almost delusional. There's just no way that was going to happen in retrospect. Sunday, I was speaking better, but speaking for long periods of time was painful. And when you gotta do a podcast, it's going to be like a minimum 2 hours. I couldn't even hold a conversation for longer than 5 minutes without being in pain and having to stop, and even with the pain medication, it was like that. So I said, you know what? We're going to have to shut it down. And I really didn't want to, because there was so much I wanted to say about what was going on. And it's just that I wasn't able to. I had to make the best decision, which Forte encouraged me to. He was just like, dude, it ain't, it's just a podcast, bro. We ain't got to do this. We can save everything we got to say for next week. So, a wise moment for Forte, because he was right. Shout out to Nate. He says, "God, take the time to heal properly." Exactly, and that was I've always been told I'm very passionate about the things I care about, and to a fault sometimes. And sometimes I think I can do things that I really can't do. And even now at in my 40s, I still have some of that in me where I'm just like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm good to go. Let's do it. And then I'm like, oh, hold on a second. I need to spit up some blood real quick. It's just like, what are we doing here? This is it's like it reminds me of the younger me that played football with separated shoulders and cracked ribs and stuff. It's just, what are you doing, bro? You're not going pro. So just chill out, bro. Take a week off. So that's what we did. But again, I appreciate Super G for the Space Marines 2 game. Appreciate everybody that has reached out, had anything to say over the past week or so, and just looked in to make sure I was good. You guys are cool peoples. I appreciate you. John Wolf, he says, hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I talked to John, and John said the same thing. It's like, just, make sure you heal, man. Talked to him a little bit in Discord, and, what was that, about a couple of days ago? I could barely talk then. But I'm getting better. And I wanted to kind of go live right now. I'm not going to be live for very much longer, honestly, because I got to go pick my kids up in a few minutes. But I just kind of wanted to test things out, remember how to go live. OBS is a finicky bitch. And you don't go live for a couple of weeks, and next thing you know, ain't nothing working correctly. Oh, Priscilla, glad you're all better. Stay recovering. Thank you. Rob, what's up, Rob and Ryan? He said, looking like Paul Wall right now with the grills. Nah, I ain't got no grills, man. So you getting the Pro PS4 5? Let me say this real quick about PS5, and I've been wanting to say this for over a week now. There are very few people who are being 100% honest about this PS5 Pro. There's so many people that have agendas. There's so many people who are creating very well thought out, sometimes not very well thought out, but well thought out arguments for or against it. But it's really just based upon their either desire to promote Sony or their desire to hate on Sony. That is the root motivation behind everything. And that's not everyone, clearly, but that's a lot of people. And we got, over the past week, we've seen people who pretend to be financial analysts now pretending to be hardware engineers. We got people who are complete corporate shills now pretending that they know how to build a PC. We got people getting exposed for not knowing what even comes in a gaming, it comes in a computer, period. Like not knowing the difference between RAM and VRAM. We got people putting together PCs that they wouldn't give their own children and saying, hey, you should get this, you should build this instead of getting a PS5 Pro. Oh, me? Nah. I would never play that. I wouldn't play that with your hands, but I think you should build this. Telling people who have never built anything, any kind of PC before, and typically the people who are in this camp don't really know much about tech like that, and that's not a negative, but they not really inclined or in the headspace to want to build one. And they're like, go build a PC instead of just buying a PS5 Pro to get better performance. Do I think the PS5 Pro is a good deal? Not really. For me, no. Because, it's not my primary platform. And I said this on Twitter, that I get doing upgrades on your gaming experience on your primary platform. I can't tell somebody don't go buy a PS5 Pro when my ass on PC bought 7 GPUs. I'm exaggerating, it wasn't that many, but I'm not that far off. GPUs to put in my PCs since about 2019. I had a 2070 Super, I had a 3070, I had then I switched and had a 3070 Ti. Then I switched my 3070 Ti to the EVGA 3070 Ti because it had slightly better performance. Then I switched and got myself a 3080 Ti Founders Edition. And now I'm currently with a 4080 Super. How I look doing all that and then telling somebody don't get a PS5 Pro? See, hypocrisy ain't a part of my DNA, so I don't do that with people. You're not going to get that from me. I'm not telling somebody don't buy something. But the difference between me saying, hey, you can buy what you want and I'm not going to judge you, and then me telling you, I don't think this is going to be successful, those are two different things. Because y'all can buy whatever y'all want to buy, but the decisions you make for yourself are the decisions that you're going to make for you. Just because you want something doesn't mean that the overall general public is going to want it. And we can't ignore the like to dislike ratio on the YouTube channel. We can't ignore that primarily casual gamers ain't gonna really jump on mid-gen refreshes anyway. That's for the hardcore enthusiast audience. And who are the ones looking at YouTube videos and hitting like and dislike? That's the hardcore enthusiast audience. And even they ain't rocking with it like that. And this price range is unprecedented in the console market. You can't look at all these things, look at the sticker shock, look at all that stuff and say, yeah, the majority of people are going to buy this, that of the target audience are going to buy this. They're not. But that doesn't mean that you can't buy it and enjoy yourself. It's very much how I feel about PSVR 2. Like, that clearly wasn't a successful venture for Sony, but it was good tech, is good tech, still good tech. It was priced appropriately for what the kind of technology is, but at, what was it, $550? in a console market that isn't big on VR, that just wasn't going to fly. It doesn't matter if you price it appropriately and it's good technology. If people don't see the value in it, there's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. They don't see value in it. And when it comes to a PS5 Pro, where people are going to be like, okay, so, especially considering how they presented it, which was terrible. I think we can all agree that how they presented this thing was not great. You're just showing old games. You didn't show nothing really new. You showed like 2 seconds of Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's not enough, right? You're not really showing off why you should buy this thing. And they didn't show it off great. And even though we're looking at something that's not a 4070 here, don't get me started on the fake tech tubers out here, but it's not a 4070. It does not match a 4070. Anyone telling you it's 4070, you need to then look at their track record and see how they're always wrong. And then wonder, oh, okay, so no wonder they're saying it matches a 4070. Switching, going back and forth between it's a 4070 to it matches a 4070 or it's a down clock 4070. You keep backpedaling and changing your argument because you're still wrong every single time, and you're too stubborn to admit you're wrong. You just keep doubling down. Like, these people, you can see what they got to say, you nod your head and just be like, all right, thanks for your opinion, and move on. But they don't really know what they're talking about. Miko says Daniel Owens' video was very informative. It was, right? Daniel Owens is one of those people that, like, he really don't have a dog in this fight. You know, he's gone in on Nvidia and AMD and whoever, and he makes videos that really are helpful to mostly PC gamers. But you know, when he gets into these kind of topics, he does his research and he already is knowledgeable of these things, and he just makes very objective videos that have good points. Nixie says, I thought DF speculated it was a 4070. John? I can't remember which one of the Digital Foundry guys, the older one. I think the guy that is the head of the whole thing. He spoke with Destin, and he said he had to clarify what he said. That he speculated, like as Nate is saying, he speculated the closest set feature is the 47 because of the AI. But he agrees the 4070 is more powerful, right? And he initially, when he said it, the way he said it to Destin, people took that and ran with it and out of context, and that's not Richard. Thank you, John. Richard. And so, like, it's I should probably link the video that Daniel Owen did, but essentially the PS5, the equivalent PC GPU equivalent of a PS5 is the RX 6700, and based off of just strictly pure rasterization, which is purely just rendering the scene with no ray tracing, no upscaling, pure just temporal anti-aliasing TAA, and that's it. With native resolution, the power difference based upon what Sony says is up to, from the PS5 Pro to the PS5 up to, which people seem to ignore the up to part. When you have an APU that's sharing resources, you need to say up to, because it's not always going to be 45%, but up to 45%. What you get is a RX 6800. Which is a really good mid-range GPU. But the problem is that AMD absolutely sucks at ray tracing, and everything they've done up to now with ray tracing has been subpar, and their upscaler is the worst upscaler there is in FSR. And it does not do what Pisser does, which is AI-based, hardware-based upscaling. And so Pisser is likely, and we all kind of assume likely it will be better than FSR, because if not, what the heck is the purpose of Sony even doing this whole thing if Pisser isn't better than FSR, right? So all that said, when you have better ray tracing, because you're using RDNA 4, which isn't out yet, should come out either later this year or maybe at January at the latest, right? You got Pisser and you got better ray tracing than AMD has been able to provide. You got PS5 Pro has features that, and I'm going to be clear here because there have been people who've been taking this out of context and just saying it's got features that aren't on PC. It's not true. It's got features that aren't on AMD hardware. Because NVIDIA has been had this stuff. NVIDIA's DLSS has always been AI machine learning based, has always been hardware based. But guess what? It hasn't always been great. People forget what DLSS 1.0 was like. It was absolutely awful. People forget when Control came out initially, and Remedy was one of the very first developers to start messing around with DLSS and ray tracing. It was abysmal. It was bad. It looked like they could smear Vaseline all over the screen. It was awful. And so just because you have machine learning, just because you have AI based, hardware based machine learning does not mean that your upscaler is guaranteed to be good or on par with DLSS. It's taken NVIDIA a long time to get where they are right now with DLSS 3.7. Like you're just not going to get there off the rate. Doesn't mean they can't get there, and doesn't mean it won't eventually surpass DLSS one day. All that stuff is definitely possible. It's just that it is unrealistic to think it would be on par with DLSS on their very first shot. That's just not realistic. That'd be like, hey, Apple's about to make a console. Oh, it's going to outperform the PlayStation and outsell the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch off of Apple's first try. That's unrealistic. Apple doesn't know this industry like that, and Sony is at a technical deficit when it comes to NVIDIA in this arena. They don't know these things that NVIDIA has already learned over the course of like the past 5 or 6 years. So it takes time. All that said, I just find it's been a lot of FUD on both sides and a lot of people talking out of their ass and not knowing what they're talking about. And I've been laughing and enjoying people getting exposed for it because it's just typical gaming community when it comes to these topics. It's people have no problem showing how ignorant they are about certain things, how foolish they can be, and jumping out there and trying to be a subject matter expert on everything instead of just admitting, just like, I don't know what this means. I don't know if that's better than this. It's okay to not know things. I half the stuff that I look up in regards to like, I work in IT, but I don't do like this level of kind of things. I work in networks. What I know about this stuff, I know from me looking things up and understanding certain things and having a basic knowledge of how computers work, because I built 3 or 4 computers already, personally, for myself. And I used to build and rebuild servers for work all the time. I got there's things about hardware I've probably forgotten that others don't know, but I don't call myself an expert, and I don't try to pretend that just because I went to chat GPT to get my information that all of a sudden I should be hired by freaking Xbox to build the next Xbox handheld or some shit. Like, people need to get out. Like, you're not fooling nobody. You are a dumbass who thinks Google can protect your stupidity and lack of knowledge in certain areas. And we don't believe you. We do not believe your ass. You are not an expert. Shut the hell up. And when some of you guys say things like, and oh, I don't think this is a good idea, I'm still going to buy it. I don't know what, but that's why they making it. Because some of y'all still going to buy it anyway. And I'm going to say this last thing before, because I literally got to go. I got to run out the door as soon as in the next 2 minutes. We see the leaking of Horizon Zero Dawn's remaster, which is the most unnecessary remaster in history. And I see people like, yo, I don't know who this for. I don't know why they did this. I don't even know what's going to be in it. I don't even know what's going to be improved. I don't know nothing. But I'm going to buy it. Who is this for? It's for you. It's for you. Because you said you gonna buy it and you don't know jack shit about it. And you still buying it. It's for you. Congratulations. You're the target audience. They could go remaster. What did they drop this year? Astrobot. What did they drop last year? Spider-Man 2? They could do a Spider-Man 2 remaster next year. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what they did better. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I don't know why they doing this though. It don't make no sense. I'm gonna buy it though. You're the target audience. Whatever they do, you buy. And it's not exclusive to Sony and PlayStation. We see that on the Xbox side too. So the Xbox guys who listen to this are going, don't stop laughing. You boo-boo the fool too. You do the same damn thing. I don't even know. I don't even like these kind of games. But I'm gonna give this one a shot. I don't even play strategy RPGs. Age of Empires, which is 7, it's 4? It's 4? Sure. I'm gonna buy it. I'm good. Game Pass, you the same motherfuckers, man. Y'all the same people. Two sides, same coin. Y'all do the same nonsense. Stop pretending like your brain turned on when it came to the other side, but when it comes to your side, you turn the brain off and you on the short bus. All right, I'm out. I gotta go. DPS podcast tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and Gamer Forte. Will we have a guest? Who the hell knows? All I know is I'm back. I talked for, how long is this? 30 minutes, and I'm not in pain. So that sounds good to me. Mission accomplished. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your hump day. Play your games. Stop playing corporate cheerleader head number 1. You don't have to do that. We out. Love you guys. Peace.